Look at the corner of your bedroom, right there, near the baseboard, where the air is still and the night is quiet. Nothing looks out of place. The room feels calm, safe. You pull back the covers and you go to sleep. And that is exactly when it happens. You do not see it. You do not hear it. Not clearly, anyway. But somewhere in that dark, still air, a mosquito has already located you. It tracked the carbon dioxide coming off your breath from across the room. It found the heat signature of your body. And within seconds of you closing your eyes, it lands. You wake up the next morning with 3 bites on your arm and no idea where they came from. Most homeowners walk right past it. But hidden inside that quiet bedroom is a problem most people never solve because they never understand it. Here is the truth about mosquitoes indoors. They are not random visitors. They are not passing through. They are hunting. A single female mosquito can bite multiple times in one night. She requires a blood meal to develop her eggs. And once she is inside your home, she is not leaving until she feeds. Studies from the Centers for Disease Control have confirmed that certain mosquito species, particularly Culex mosquitoes, are highly adapted to indoor environments. They breed in stagnant water as small as a bottle cap. They rest in dark, humid corners during the day. They are active from dusk through the early morning hours. Not one mosquito, not 5 mosquitoes. In homes near standing water, in warm climates, or near drainage systems, researchers have captured over 200 individual mosquitoes in a single indoor trap session. They were not passing through. They were living there. If this is the kind of content that makes you think differently about what's happening inside your home, subscribe right now. We investigate what most people overlook and what pest professionals find behind walls, under floors, and yes, right inside the bedroom where you sleep every night. Now here is where it gets interesting. Because for years, people assumed the only way to deal with indoor mosquitoes was chemical spray, foggers, coils, plug-in devices loaded with synthetic repellents. And those methods work to a degree. But that explanation has a problem. Sprays dissipate. Coils burn out. Plug-in devices create a localized zone of protection that does not cover a full room. And none of them trap the mosquito. They repel it or kill it on contact, meaning the mosquito has to already be near you for the method to work. At first, it looked harmless, a minor inconvenience solved with a can of DEET. But then, inspectors and entomologists started noticing a pattern. Homeowners who relied entirely on repellents were still getting bitten. The mosquitoes were adapting their flight paths, circling the edges of the room, waiting. That is when researchers began looking at a different approach, one based not on chemistry, but on physics, on airflow, on the fundamental biology of how mosquitoes find their targets in the dark. Here is the first clue. Mosquitoes locate hosts using carbon dioxide plumes. When you exhale, you release a trail of CO2 that disperses in the air. A mosquito can detect that plume from up to 100 feet away outdoors. Indoors, in a closed room, that plume concentrates. It becomes a navigation signal. The mosquito follows it straight to you. Most homeowners assume mosquitoes simply wander and bump into them by accident. That assumption is wrong. The hunt is deliberate, and it begins the moment you start breathing in a still room. Here is the second clue. Mosquitoes are weak flyers. Their flight speed maxes out at roughly 1.5 miles per hour. A gentle airflow, even a small fan running on low, disrupts their ability to track the CO2 trail. It scatters the plume. It interferes with their navigation. This is not a theory. Wind tunnel studies published in entomology journals have demonstrated that air movement significantly reduces mosquito host-seeking behavior. The insect cannot fly against even modest airflow for extended periods. It becomes confused. And if the airflow is directed correctly, it becomes trapped. Here is the third clue. This is where it gets strange. A basic box fan, the kind you can find at any hardware store for $3 at a garage sale, or just a few dollars at a discount retailer, creates enough suction on its intake side to pull small insects toward the grill. Mosquitoes drawn toward the perceived warmth and CO2 of a sleeping person get caught in that intake current. They are pulled against the mesh. They dehydrate within hours. Pest management researchers and hobbyist entomologists have documented this effect repeatedly, setting up simple fan traps near sleeping areas and recovering dozens of mosquitoes by morning. Not one or two, dozens per night. The setup is almost embarrassingly simple. A box fan placed at the foot of the bed or near the sleeping area, aimed so the intake side faces the room. Some users attach a fine mesh or a layer of netting over the intake grill to catch the mosquitoes. The fan runs on low all night. The airflow disrupts the hunt. The suction pulls in any mosquito that gets close. By morning, the evidence is on the grill. It was hidden, it was hunting, and the fan stopped it. Now, does every buzzing sound in your bedroom mean you have a full infestation? Probably not. But that does not make the problem unimportant. A single mosquito bite from the wrong species, Culex, Aedes, Anopheles, carries real risk. West Nile virus, dengue, and malaria are not abstract threats. The CDC reports thousands of domestically acquired mosquito-borne infections in the United States every year. Even setting aside disease, disrupted sleep from biting insects has measurable health consequences over time. The idea that a $3 fan could serve as a meaningful layer of mosquito defense is not folk wisdom. It is physics confirmed by behavioral biology. But here is what the fan trap also reveals. If you are catching mosquitoes inside your bedroom night after night, the fan is not your real solution. It is a diagnostic tool. It is telling you that mosquitoes have a consistent entry point into your home. A gap in window screening, a door seal that does not close flush, a bathroom vent without a cover, a plumbing penetration near a floor drain. The trap catches the symptom. The entry point is the cause. And if that entry point is not found and sealed, the infestation will continue regardless of fans, sprays, or coils. For years, people ignored this warning sign. They treated the bite and forgot the source. Then inspectors started noticing a pattern. Homes with chronic indoor mosquito problems almost always had one overlooked gap in the building envelope. One. That was all it took. And if that is happening in your home, the damage may already be underway. Not structural damage in this case, but accumulated risk, accumulated bites, accumulated disruption, and a mosquito population breeding nearby that continues to send scouts inside every single night. Think about that bedroom corner again. The one that looked quiet, safe. The fan is running now. The airflow is disrupting the hunt, but somewhere beyond the window screen, beyond the door threshold, beyond the small gap where the HVAC line enters the wall, there are more, waiting for a still night, waiting for the fan to be off. It was hidden, it was growing, and most people never noticed until they started counting the bites. The next video might show you what else you have been missing.